All right, this is Dan Mayer, Vice President of Operations of MusicianStream.com. This is my boy Aaron Seaver, and he's one of the top dogs here at American Villain Apparel and Tattoo. Basically what this is about is we are kind of introducing the Musician Stream world to the American Villain world. Now American Villain does have a channel and on the network, and basically what they're going to be doing is filling their channel with live content as well as shows. We're looking at maybe doing a tattoo show. We're looking at doing maybe a daily, weekly talk show that talks primarily about heavier music, tattooing, and stuff that anyone from 18 to 30 something are generally interested in. We're based here in New York, so it's going to be a lot of New York bands, but in the future we plan on having some national acts come in. We plan on doing shows from clubs such as the Montage, which Aaron runs security for, and Jed is a talent buyer there. So there's going to be national acts, but then a lot of New York, upstate, and around the central New York area. Aaron and I know each other from working in sheet metal factories and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what we do, here in New York. Most of our guys are in Florida. Our CEO, Jory Staten, and Rick Yantz, they're down in Florida, and they're living their life in Margaritaville. And, we live here in upstate New York, where it's, how I explain to them is that a lot of the bands here in Rochester, because it's so cold and it's so miserable, that these guys go into, woodshed mode, and they get in their basements and they play, they practice all day. And personally, I think the music scene here and anywhere where it's cold and shitty, like Seattle or Rochester or Chicago or Canada, the guys work extra hard at their craft. And I know Gene Simmons has said rock is dead, but not in upstate fucking New York, it ain't.
No, absolutely not. We have shows just about every weekend here. Just getting people out and getting to see the shows is what is hard.
Right.
I mean,
well, because sometimes there's 2 or 3 awesome shows at any given time.
Yeah, booked in the same night, and it's kind of hard when you've got so many different venues booking the same shows, same type of shows, and the crowd, some go to one club, some go to the other club, some stay home. That's kind of how it is. At least with this music stream, it'll be cool for people to be able to check out what we have going on, what American Villain is doing, what shows we're working with. We do a lot in the summertime with a lot of big acts. Last summer we did shows with like Islander, POD, The Acacia Strain, Nonpoint, OTEP, Hatebreed. I mean, the list goes on. So what we want to do with American Villain is basically let our listeners know what's going on, where you can go to see a show. Not just the Montage, but you got Water Street, you've got the Brew House, you've got the new club Anthology, which is a great venue. There's so many cool shows that are coming out that people don't know about, and I hope that this channel can help people understand and get out and, oh my God, say, oh dude, this band's playing tonight, I want to go check that out, instead of sitting home. That's what makes it hard too, is a lot of people don't really realize what's going on because people post on Facebook, but not everybody's on Facebook. So at least if we can get people on our, on our stream, they'll know what's going on and what America has going on. And we always have tickets for sale for a lot of the big shows right here at American Villain, 1868 East Main Street, right on the corner of Berry and East Main. Just give us a call.
Plus this summer you've got Trish Stock.
Yeah, we got Trish
Stock. Finger
Age,
Lakes Metal.
Finger Lakes Metal Fest, Age Fest. A lot of cool, 315 shows out in the Syracuse area that American Villain is associated with. We've got Buffalo shows booked. You know, we do everything. I mean, I have a couple of motorcycle clubs that I'm not going to mention, who I'm doing shows with them. I mean, there's so much stuff to do, and I just want to see people get out and, you know, enjoy music like we do.
Right.
And that's what it is. I mean, I bring my kids to shows that I can, so that they can experience it, because I mean, that's what music's about.
Now, American Villain, here in Rochester, it's a tattoo shop, but an apparel, a clothing store as well for men, women, younger kids. It's edgy, it's cool, and the difference is, you know, and I think where this is going to catch on is, you know, if you got somebody who's watching this show in Idaho or Alabama somewhere, and they don't want to wear a Walmart shirt to school, they can, you know, buy an American Villain shirt that no one in their school is going to have, and, you know, at least for a couple years anyways.
Right.
So, and, you know, maybe what this could open up is, you know, maybe some sort of synergy, like say there's another company similar to this in Cleveland, Ohio, that happens to run across what you do. Well, maybe they'll import some of their shirts to you. You can import some of your stuff to them.
Absolutely.
And then it keeps the newness of what, you know, like, ooh, these new shirts come from a club in Cleveland.
Yep.
We do a show called from a club called Beast of Bourbon in New York City. And it's like, man, how cool would it be to have a Beast of Bourbon t-shirt? Because, you know, I love to drink the bourbon, and it becomes...
Yeah, and not too many people around this area will have that shirt. That'll be, you know, that'd be a rare shirt because of the fact that it's not in Rochester. It's, you know, it's in New York City.
Now, how many tattoo artists do you have here?
We have 5 current tattoo artists. We have 3 females and we have 2 males. We have Jason Ferguson, Jeff Fry, Katie. We got Vreeland, and then we have a new girl that's starting next month named Laura Marie. And all 5 of them are amazing. They're all awesome, great personalities. It's not, you know, there's no arrogance here. It's very family oriented. You know, we try to base, you know, our whole shop on that, and how we, you know, are seen through the public's eye. That's what we want. We don't want the drama and the horse crap. Take that somewhere else. We are, you know, we're strictly a family, and we take care of each other, and that's what American Villain does. And that's what we want everyone. We want everyone who wears our shirt to feel like they're part of our family. And that's, you know, family's big with Jed and I, and that's, you know, that's just the way it is.
Now, Jed is Aaron's brother. Jed, older brother, I believe,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and he's the president of American Villain. He busts his ass to make sure this place is up and running, and he's the one that is responsible for a lot of the cool designs that we have to offer our fans. You know, like Dan said, he's a talent buyer for the Montage Music Hall. We do a lot of big, you know, metal weekend festivals there. You know, American Villain sponsors. But yeah, he's not here right now, obviously. But yeah, he's kind of more the behind the scenes guy, and he makes sure this place stays running.
And again, a blue collar guy who,
Yep.
you know, does factory work and runs shops, and, you know, is, you know, dealing with other, you know, hooligans and, you know, the tough guys that work in our shops.
Yep.
We know that. I mean, most of them, you know, they have a record, you know, arm's length long. But they're good guys, hard-working
absolutely.
guys. But you know, they're
a lot of fun too, though, man.
Sure they are.
I like hanging out with a lot of them because, you know, they see, like, you know, guys like us, you know, coming in, and, you know, and we see where they're coming from, and then you talk to these people, and it's like, you know what, man, you're just like us. You just come from a different place.
right.
I mean, it's not, you know.
And they work their asses off.
Oh, absolutely.
You
I mean, they
know?
got families just like we do.
Right.
They got kids, they got wives, they got bills, and they, you know, they do their thing, and, you know, and that's what we deal with, and that's what we like. That's just, we like that raw, edgy, you know, in your face type of stuff.
6 to 4:30.
Yeah.
You know, pounding
Yep.
out metal parts, and you know, and then you guys split your time up between that and family and running this business,
Yep.
and then, you know,
Working, you know, helping to make sure the montage runs smoothly. I know, you know, Jed's the singer in a band, so he's constantly traveling. I mean, you know, I got security gigs, you know, just about every weekend, and I have, you know, with my 3 kids and my wife, it's like, man, this is, you know, it's a lot of work, but we do what we do to make it make it happen. You know, that's just what we do.
Well, it's kind of like make your money now and then you can retire later. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
While you've got a little bit of youth
You've got
left.
one time to live, man. You got to just live your life.
Live life villain style.
Villain life. That's right.
So I think a good name for this, what we're doing here, would be Villain Life Live. It seems like
that's
it has a Regis and Kathy Lee live sort of feel, but a little better. So yeah,
we're a lot cooler than that.
Well, a little bit. Maybe not as cool as Michael and Kelly Ripa there, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, but Michael Strahan's Michael Strahan.
Right.
I mean, I'm a hardcore Giants fan, so I love that guy.
Yeah, man, that is a gap tooth brother right there. Wow. Damn. But we plan on having a lot of special guests come in and do the show. We're going to try a few people to see, you know, as far as guest hosting goes, because there'll be some days where he can't make it, some days I can't make it. So we're going to bring in different people, different opinions, different agendas, different shows they want to plug. And, you know, basically how I look at Musician Stream is I'm looking at it of, you know, once a band, like there's a band here in town called Million Miles from Broadway.
Yep, great band.
Great band. They play the Montage, and they may pack them in for 200 people. But if we can get the word out there to all these other markets that there's a live band from Rochester, New York, they sound like a cross between, who would you say? I don't want to say Limp Bizkit, but
No,
there is
not.
there is a Limp Bizkit-esque sort of feel, but 10 times cooler, like Limp Bizkit without Fred Durst almost.
Yeah.
If you can imagine that.
Yep.
But they're how they coin their music is New York groove.
Yep.
And
New York groove metal, I believe.
yeah, and the whole thing is they have families and they got stuff going on here in Rochester. So the cool part of it is they can play at the Montage for, you know, 200 people, but then if they can market themselves appropriately, they could be playing for hundreds,
Yep.
if not thousands of people around the
They
world.
did. I know they opened up this past fall for the Insane Clown Posse at Water Street, and they got the opportunity to play in front of, you know, about 500 to 600 people, which, you know, to them is huge because a lot of local bands really don't, you know, have that much of a draw. But you know, it's nice to be able to get onto a show like that. Like actually talk about Million Miles. They're playing tomorrow night, April 9th, at Montage with Metal Church. Huge show.
Now, did they open for Soulfly last year too?
I think they did.
Because the kid worked with us, the singer.
Yes. Yep.
I remember,
Justin. Yep.
I remember him coming in and
Yep.
his head was in the clouds because he played for a plant.
He's a 19-year-old kid who's getting, you know, in with the big dogs quick, and the kid's got some great raw talent, and he's got, you know, he's a great singer.
And he's a blue collar kid.
Yeah, and he's a great guy. I mean, the whole band is, you know, all of them. You know, you got John Murch on the drums, you got Mike Hardy playing guitar, you got Jamie and Westinger on bass, Donnie Westinger on the other guitar, and Justin Clay singing. They're all great guys. They're all close, you know, friends of ours. You know, they're our family.
The bass player and guitar player are father and son.
Yep.
And so there's another instance of family stuff that goes down. Donnie's, you know, a guy who's been in this circuit in probably, 50 bands since he's been a kid. There's also another great band out of Buffalo, Super Killer Robots.
Yep. They're killer.
They're my favorite, one of my faves,
Yep.
without a doubt. Another great band, Revival.
Yep.
This kid Matt, who used to be with a band called 40 Ounce Failure.
Who's actually they're doing a reunion show this summer at the Montage.
And they were a huge upstate New York
Yep.
band.
I think it's 40 Ounce Failure and Delusional Spell so far. I think there's more to be announced. Not sure. I mean,
And I plan on. The American Villain channel is going to carry those edgy shows. I may carry them also on my American Villain or my Big Apple channel, but then
so check it out either place.
Yeah, I'm looking for, you know, to do very diverse acts where American Villain is going to be the headbangers ball of Musician Stream.
With a little bit of rap, with a little bit of hip hop.
Right.
Depending on what it is.
Exactly. But Revival's real good.
Yep.
Their record is awesome, but their live performances are great, and you can check both of those bands out on the Big Apple channel, and I believe the American Villain channel on View Past Shows. If you go to View Past Shows, click on there, you'll have a whole bunch of bands on there. I believe American Villain has BML up there right now.
Yep.
And
we're going to be adding Sativa, which is our main tattoo artist's band. He's a singer in it. His name's Ferg. Check them out too with Sativa. They're playing a show April 16th at the California Brew House. It's their 420 show. Should be fun. They're a great band. Very entertaining, very energetic. Great bunch of guys. And again, they're Villain family.
And Ferg's got a hell of a personality, so I'm trying to...
And one hell of a tattoo artist.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on something with him to where, it's like a live tattoo stream. Mm-hmm. And will people sit there and watch a live tattoo stream? Well, you know what, not for nothing, a few years ago, I used to sit at work and watch a eagle's nest and wait for the mother eagle to come in and interact with just the eggs there. And I would just have it while I was working. That was at the corner. So I think someone would watch,
or at least watch a few minutes of it just to see.
And click back in an hour later and say, wow, look what the guy did, So,
and we're also going to do that on our page too. We're going to have a lot of our tattoo artists. I want them all involved into this, so we'll be sneaking into their booths, with their permission.
The Ferg idea was for the American Villain thing, but I think Ferg's a funny guy. I'd love to, while he's doing the tattooing, to have him just talk about whatever if you gotta.
He's a very very entertaining man.
Yeah, I'm sure that some of the subjects that they'll be tattooing will be very interesting people.
Yeah. You may not want to let your little ones watch it. You may want to censor it a little.
Right. And this isn't going to be a show for young kids, but hey, we're not here to censor anything. Nope. But musician stream. It's not it's not a nudity thing, and it's not
absolutely not.
But what I'm hoping for to ultimately have. American Villain is going to be, and anything on Musician Stream, I would prefer it to be. We're not going to talk about sports, maybe a little bit of politics, maybe a little bit of sports, but primarily, what new bands do we like? What old bands do we like?
What old bands do we want to come back?
Right. Interviews with bands. Local and national, and basically talking about the music business, and we'll throw some local Rochester drama in there if need be. I think it'd be funny.
Yeah, gotta have some of that.
Because some of these bands go out there and they think they're the shit, and then the live performance proves it, and it's bad, but it's funny.
And they draw 10 people saying they're gonna bring 100.
Right. Oh, those are the guys you want to grill Monday morning. Now you had a band. At Montage, one of the first nights I was out there, and the kid was lighting his hair on fire. And
who the hell was that?
It was penis.
Penis shit pile.
Yeah,
I think his name was called.
Okay, so this kid,
I actually wasn't there that night. I actually was out of town with my family, but.
Oh, okay. It was the night that likewise fell off the stage into the monitors, and maybe not. But this kid.
Oh no! Likewise, he fell off the monitors at our American Villain Fest.
Yeah, okay, I got that.
Penis Shit Pile was with. They played with another. They played
before.
They played with someone else when that kid did that. I wasn't there for that.
That kid's funny. I gotta say. Now he's got to be a good interview. He's trying to light his hair on fire. His hair was so greasy it wouldn't start up. I was like, wow. But actually, he's in a Pantera video.
Really?
What
video? We should pull it up and check it out.
The very last Pantera video, I think it's called Pissed.
Oh, could be.
And it's basically a fan-based thing, and he's on the intro saying, my name is, what's his name, Jim or something, Jimmy something, something funny.
I only know one of the guys in that band.
And he told me the whole story, and I was like, I'll check it out when I get home. And sure enough, there he was. I was laughing. I was like, damn, there he is.
That's
so
great.
he's a crazy kid. He's got good dance moves. Not a great singer, in my opinion, but that's, but entertaining. I'll give it to him. I was like, this kid's like a young Frank Zappa, he did something weird between every song and during the songs, and I was thoroughly entertained.
But see, that's what it is too, though, man. I mean, a lot of these bands will do that stuff because then when people go home, they remember that stuff.
Right.
You get a band that just sits there and just stands there and just screams or sings. No one's gonna remember that tomorrow. You want to bring something to the crowd that they're gonna go home and be like, yo, man, call their buddies like, yo, I was at the show last night. This band, badass. You gotta check them out. I mean, otherwise you're gonna be like, man, this band was okay. They were very energetic. You gotta have that.
Right.
And a lot of a lot of the bands in our, in our city have that. Aggressive Betty have a great stage show. You got Beneath Hell Skies who are just brutal. You got Ironclad, who saw from I think from 315 area. Without Regret from 315.
Right.
Very entertaining. I met those guys a couple years ago at a Nick Stock, and I never, I didn't know who they were, and they approached me, and now, we're all very great friends, and, I've been out to their houses, we partied out there, and, and that's actually where H-Fest is this year, I believe, is out in Jordan, New York at Andy Athenson's farm. I think he's got like 100 plus acres that you party on, which is really cool. Camping included, free camping, free show. All kinds of local bands, all weekend long, and it don't cost you a damn thing. It's free.
There's a misconception about New York, and I think you'll agree with me here is, people in Florida, they look at New York and all they can think of maybe is New York City. All right, but we're from upstate, but we're familiar with all the all the areas of New York, but we're from upstate New York, but you can drive in one direction from where we are right now and you are in the hood, but you can drive 30 minutes in the other direction and you'd swear you were in Arkansas.
Yeah.
There's some serious redneck action going on in the state of New York.
Well, I personally live out in the country. I literally have 3 neighbors within a half-a-mile radius. That's just kind of what it is. And the same thing, man. We go out there and we party out in the fields, and I don't bring bands and stuff to my house, but I could. But it's that's what a lot of these bands like to do with these. We've done shows like a lot of Poor Losers, which was basically out in a farm field.
Oh, like Lollapalooza.
But a lot of Poor Losers.
Gotcha.
That's just how we roll. And you got Hage Fest, and you got Trish Stock. All those shows are outdoors. A majority of them are free, so they don't cost you anything except for a couple bucks to get there.
Right.
And you're, if you want to buy beer,
I believe this year there's the proceeds are going to charity. So I think there is.
So there'll be a slight donation at the door. When you walk in, throw $5, $6, $7, $10 down. It's a full day of bands and partying with your friends. Who wouldn't want to do that?
And it goes to a good cause.
Yeah, right. It goes to a great cause.
Like Revival, in a couple weeks, I'm going to Syracuse to shoot a show for them, and it goes to feeding homeless cats, and it's like a cat coalition.
Because Matt and his wife are huge in in animal rights, and which is awesome because we're all animal lovers ourselves. So stuff
and
like
his
that
wife is in the band. She's a guitar player. She has the best guitar sound in this town of Rochester, where you figure most of the guys would know it, but man, her guitar sound is crushing.
And she's a complete sweetheart too. She's so nice and friendly. She'll talk to anybody, and Revival, they're really cool with American Villain. We really like them. Maddie D, I've known 20 plus years.
And the singer for Sick of It All helped them do their last record, which is a huge step for them, and I believe they're playing a gig with Sick of It All real soon. So he's actually one of the guys I'm hoping to come in here and maybe do some co-hosting with us.
He's a character too,
bro. He is.
I tell you right now, you get Maddie D and Ferg in here, this place will erupt.
Because I know just from the few conversations I've had with Matt, he's a very opinionated guy.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's what we want. With me, I got to stay neutral because, you know, I do the country bands and I do country, you know, I film country line dancing, but then I'm looking for R&B artists and I'm, you know, so I want to stay neutral and not say that anybody is good or not good because it's not about taste, it's about entertainment. And sometimes good entertainment or bad entertainment, I mean, I think that American Idol proves that bad entertainment is just as entertaining.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because who closed
you
out?
remember that?
Well, who closed out the show last night besides J Lo's ass? It was She Bangs, that the Japanese kid.
Yeah.
One hung low, hung something. That was rude, and I didn't mean that. That was wrong.
Well, what is that kid's name?
William Hung.
William Hung. There you go.
Okay, now I can't name 4 other American Idol artists, but I remember him.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm going to remember the kid who lights his hair on fire.
Oh yeah.
Than
absolutely.
the band that's just, you know,
just standing there singing,
you know.
with no stage presence whatsoever.
But I think that if you look on the View past performances, you're going to see a lot of cool bands that have played in this area, and you're going to say, wow, upstate New York, or maybe not. Maybe you'll say, wow, our scene, our Cleveland scene, or our New York City scene, or our Denver, Colorado, or our Salt Lake City, Utah scene is way better. I would love to see that sort of competition going on between cities and towns. I would love to be able to, from Rochester, New York, peek in on Baltimore and say, wow, look at this killer band. How would I ever get to go see a band in Baltimore
Yeah, that we don't even know about.
that we don't even know about? So this gives bands an opportunity
To get their name and get their stuff out.
worldwide.
And when we're doing shows, we're going to try to do, you know, little clips of their CD or a video to try to show people, you know, what their music is about and introduce you into the band themselves. So that's. I think this channel is going to be great for that. I mean, I think a lot of our local bands and even national bands that come through. I mean, we work with a lot of them. I think a lot of them will want to be in on this because music is not dead. The music scene's not dead.
Absolutely.
People say it is. People say, you know, I work for clubs. I hear a lot of people say a lot of stuff, and I bite my tongue. But you know what? I've been with the Montage for almost 7 years. I've worked at Anthology. I know everybody at Water Street. You know, a couple other venues, and there's a couple other venues I'm not going to name. But, you know, the music scene is not dead. You just have to get off your ass and come out and see a show.
And I think what it is the old style of how the music business was handled through, like if somebody wanted to get a record deal, oh, you better get an entertainment lawyer, you better grease this person, you better grease, well, what Musician Stream's going to do, I think it's going to let the public and let the world decide who the next big band is going to be. Because personally, I would have no idea who Super Killer Robots or Revival or Million Miles from Broadway if I wasn't doing this job.
Yep.
So I'm looking at it like, wow, if I go out and I'm, you know, streaming live video of a band like 9 Round that has really cool songs.
Oh yeah, 9 Round's awesome.
And you know, being able to show the world, wow, listen to this band. You might like them, you might not. But then I'm watching a band from Baltimore that I've never seen, and you know, trying to, but let the world choose who the next Nirvana is going to be, or the next Poison, or the next Limp Bizkit, or whatever. It's not
the next Slipknot, the next Korn. That's exactly what we need to do. We as a group need to figure out who it is. So I think you know, I'm getting signed. No, you're not. I'm not getting signed.
Right.
It's so hard. I mean, we have a huge band here in Rochester who is signed, Sirens and Sailors. They're killer. They're awesome. They're that young hardcore, you know, type of band. And I mean, for as long as I can remember, they're really it. I mean, there's
Well, you got Joywave.
Oh
too.
yeah, Joywave. Yep.
But they're huge out of town, and they do have label support.
Yep.
This is a do-it-yourself sort of way to say, look, and a way to possibly get signed. If you've got your shit down tight and you've got a gig on you know, such and such a date, and you let a record producer or a record promoter or you know, a management company in LA, look, we're playing live at the Montage tonight. Check us out on musicianstream.com. So you don't have to travel out to LA for them to tell you no or yes or whatever.
They can just stream it and see it, and if they don't like it, they just don't answer you back. And if they do like it, they come forward. There's a lot of bands that have made it successful without a record label. I mean, there's been a few. I know we've got one that's coming to the club in I think next month, Texas Hippie Coalition. I mean, they've done a lot of it on their own. I mean, I'm not sure if they have label support now, but back last time they came was about 7 years ago to the Montage. They had no label support, and they were doing their whole tour on their own, and that's a big production. I mean, see if you go to the hip hop world, Insane Clown Posse, they're another one. They have no label. They're just, it's them. They just know how to market themselves, and I'm hoping that Music Stream will help our bands and our friends who are in bands use this to get their names out. You don't need a record label to travel and make it big. You can do it on your own.
And the beautiful thing
you just have to work and be dedicated to do it.
It's not going to cost these bands to do any of this stuff, too.
Don't show up at the club 5 minutes before your set, play a song, play your set, and then bounce. No, you stay and interact with your crowd. You introduce yourself. You hand out CDs. You hand out flyers. You hand out little wristband things that people will put on and they'll remember it in the morning. Not just I'm gonna go drink a beer, I'm gonna play, and I'm leaving. Dude, your band will go nowhere.
Right.
And I see it on a weekly basis, where that's how it is. You got the singer or someone will show up literally 5 minutes before they play, sing, and then leave and have no interaction with the crowd whatsoever.
Right.
And then you get bands like Nonpoint, the Acacia Strain, OTAP, Hatebreed. They get done playing their set, they come out and mingle with the crowd, and they do autographs, they take pictures, they're hanging out. That's what made them big, was interacting with their fans. In my opinion, that's what it is. Sitting behind their merch booth, selling their stuff. I mean, not just throwing one T-shirt down on the table and walking away. What is that? I mean, I walk by and I see that, I'm gonna feel like, dude, someone left their shirt there.
Right.
When American Villain sets up at an event, I bring a full ensemble. I mean, I have a 5x8 trailer that I pack to the top and in the back of my van, full of gear. Because when I set up, man, I set up huge, like I'm a $1 million company. That's what I want to be, and that's what I want my fans and our crew to see is, wow, man, look at these guys have tons. We started out with three. Jed and I started out with 3 designs, a little over 3 years ago, and now we have damn near close to 70 different ones. We've done, shirts with multiple bands. We've done shirts. We do sponsorships with Nonpoint. They rock our stuff on stage. Every time that they're out playing. That's what American Villain brings to the table. We're not a band. You know how many times I've sat up and be like, "Oh, what band are you?" I'm not a band.
Right. We're a brand.
And they're like, "Wow, man, you got a lot of stuff." I'm like, "Well, this is what we do. This is how we roll." And I don't just throw 3 shirts down and just, hey man, check it out. No, dude, I bring everything that I can fit in my trailer. I will strip this store clean, and bring it all, because I know that these fans are gonna love it. And that's just what it is. And it does help that Jed is a singer of Hate Machine, and Hate Machine was huge. And his connections with the music world are, just like you, are huge. I mean, it's great to have him on my side, because I have him, to be like, yo, man, get me into this show, or let's get into this package. Can you call this agent? Can you call this, promoter and get us in? And that's great, and that's what he does, and he does that, 100 times better than anyone I've ever seen bust his ass, and that's why this place is gonna go to the top, and it's because of Jed and myself.
And the hard work.
And and the dedication that we put in. I mean, I'm away from my family every weekend, either working at the club or I'm traveling with American Villain. And my wife and kids sit home and I'm not home, but during the week and all that, I try to be with them as much as I can. But on the weekends, my wife lets me run free and do my thing, because she knows that this is my passion. This is what I love. And I love American Villain, and I love bringing American Villain to the public.
Throw the web address out there.
It's www.americanvillainapparel.com. You can check us out on Facebook at AmericanVillainApparelAndTattoo.com.
In fact, there's tattooing going on.
Yeah,
right
actually, right next to us, we have someone getting tattooed right at this minute. If you want to call the shop for ticket info for any of the shows that are coming around the town, you can give us a call at 585-288-8666. And again, we're at 1868 East Main Street, a little brick and mortar on the corner of Berry and East Main. It's a cool place. You come down and check it out. We have T-shirts ranging from $10 to, $50 windbreakers
Now,
and hoodies.
didn't you say you had some 15-year-old kids come and say, "Yo, man, can you tattoo a 15-year-old?"
Yeah, no, we don't do that, man. It's strictly 18 and over. We're not a hood shop. We don't deal with that crap. Basically, I stand at the door and I'm just like, yo, take a hike. Go down the street, go somewhere else. You're not coming here. We don't do that. All of our artists are all, professionals. We're not, we're not a hood, like I said, we're not a hood shop. Definitely not. We don't portray ourselves that way, and we don't conduct business that way. That's just not how business is done.
Cool.
We may associate with a lot of them people, but our business is not like that at all. Jen and I are very professional. Our tattoo artists are the best of the best, and we'll back them at any cost.
So what nationals have been into the shop? I think Nonpoint.
Yep, Nonpoint's been in here. Actually, they're pretty much it because Jed has a history with the drummer Rob from Nonpoint, so we do a lot of stuff with them. We've all became very good friends. But yeah, so right now they're the only ones that have actually physically been in the shop.
But because of Montage and you working there, I've seen pictures of Aaron with John 5.
Yep.
And I know he's hung out with Johnny Solinger from Skid Row and
Jeff Tate from Queensryche.
Yeah.
Ryan from Soil. Jared from Head PE. Max from Soulfly Sepultura. Rex Brown from Pantera. It's just incredible. The guys from Acacia Strain, OTEP. Hatebreed. Who else? Vision of Disorder. The list just goes on. I've done over 500 shows at the Montage in my time, at least. I can't even tell you all the guys from Mushroom Head, Powerman 5000. The list just goes on, man.
Yeah.
I could sit here for hours and tell you everyone who and I can prove it all too because I've got photos of all of them.
Right.
And I've done hip hop too. I've done stuff with Mobb Deep, Chris Webby, Huey Mack, Whitney Payton, Supreme, who's actually fighting that crazy dude from Florida Stitches. I guess they're the ones that are in a fight or some shit.
Right.
I met that guy, cool dude. My biggest celebrity I think that I've ever met though is the kid from Jackass. I don't even remember.
Steve-O.
No, not Steve-O.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
How's that kid's name?
I'm picturing his face. Bam.
Yeah, Bam Margera from Fuckface Unstoppable. Which, I tell you what, if you ever get a chance to see that band, you need to. It is the stupidest thing in the world, but the entertainment is hilarious. And it makes you, I'm not a fan of the band, per se, but their stage presence and what they do on stage and how Bam Margera is just the funniest thing in the world.
His brother is in CKY Can't Kill Yourself, right?
Yes. Yep.
So is it guys from Can't Kill Yourself working with him, or is it?
No, I think that's a whole separate band. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Interesting.
I'm not really sure. But I do know that, and their name is Fuckface Unstoppable, which is just the coolest name.
Sure. Hard to market, but
very hard to market, but guys like us, I love that stuff. That's cool to me. But I hope this catches on and everybody can see what we have.
I think it's gonna.
I think it will.
So, all right. America and the world and our friends down in Florida and wherever you may be tuning in. This is our first broadcast of American Villain Life Live. That's what it is. I have to get that to roll off our tongues. And, this wasn't in the schedule, but I'm hoping if we look back at this and like what we see,
that
this is gonna be a weekly, and then maybe you never know, it could be a daily show from here, which would be cool. We could sit here and
just shoot the shit all day and talk about music and people.
2 hours a day, and rip on each other and make fun of people.
We
And,
can introduce you to our drama,
yeah.
because there's always drama. I mean, that's just what
We want to know about people's drama around the United
Yeah.
States. So, people might be able to text us and ask us questions and
call in,
Um,
shoot us emails.
but ultimately, this could, musicianstream.com could be good for every small business in every town throughout the United States. So if this could turn into helping our United States economy in the music business, but then in businesses such as this, I mean, how huge could this be for our economy if this concept took off? I think it could be huge for everyone.
I think it would be great, and it also would give American Villain an opportunity to catch on with other, bands and promoters outside of New York State to promote our business farther and to bring your business to the Rock, because we may not know who you are, just like you don't know who we are, but if we can get together and and correlate with what we're going to do. I mean, I don't understand why this thing couldn't go, at least countrywide to start, and then worldwide.
Exactly.
No, I would love to see this thing go. I'd love to see American Villain go worldwide.
Well, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I would love to see American Villain. I would love to take my kids to like Paris on vacation and see some dude walk around with American Villain T-shirt. That would make me feel
Sure.
amazing. Like
Wait.
make me
Did
feel
you say
like
Paris?
yeah, wherever.
This interview is done.
This is
No.
done. I can't take my kids into like the darkest, deepest parts of different countries. I gotta take them to Paris.
Right.
I gotta take them to cool places.
All right, so this is Villain Life Live. This is Aaron. I'm Dan, and we're out.
Live life.
We'll talk
Villain
to you
life.
soon. Here you go.